All right, go to events, YEC. This is the main page. Head on down to rulebooks, and there's consulting right there. Every rulebook has the same format. This is to make sure the audience has an easy time going through it. There's always 5 sections, and they're always the exact same sections, so you know what information is in what section. All right, so now that we're on the rulebook, we'll first go to section 1.0 and look at the description and objective. So the objective of the consulting competition is to challenge competitors to design a detail. So you can read through that. Basically, the premise of the consulting competition is that your team is a consulting firm, and the judges are a organization, and they have come to you with a proposal, with a large-scale engineering problem that you are going to be consultants for. So you create a proposal that will have a solution for their problem or their problem or their project. And in that solution, you want to talk about feasibility, you want to talk about the economics behind it, you want to talk about environmental impacts, you want to talk about ethical impacts. And basically, it should just be a holistic, high quality presentation on what the engineering problem is. So, for example, if the judges come to you, which is going to present their problem, which is the challenge, the judges come to you and present the challenge that they would like to build a nuclear power plant in the middle of downtown Toronto. Well, as a consulting firm, you will have to tell them all about the ramifications and impact and improvements or downsides of that project. That is your job as a consulting firm. You give a presentation. All right. Team composition. The consulting competition, you must have 3 or 4 members. Moving down to section 2.0, resources, personnel. What you're really interested in is deliverables. All right. There's only one deliverable for this whole competition, and it's a PowerPoint presentation or Google Slides, a presentation of some sort. You must prepare this presentation during the time that you are allotted. So for example, let's go to the schedule and look at consulting. Consulting is on the 31st. So the orientation is at this time, and then the development is from 12 to 6. This period of time is when you have the time to create your PowerPoint presentation. At the end of the orientation, you will be presented with that problem, with the large-scale engineering problem that you have to focus on, and then you spend the rest of this 6 hours working with your team to create a detailed presentation that you will present at the next day, November 1st. There's a few details here that you need to follow, such as titling, citation, how to, what formatting to use, and things like that. All right, section 3.0 is the timeline. The first thing on the timeline is the application submission. This is when your team registers. You need to have this complete by Thursday, October 28th at midnight. Any significantly late applications we don't take. Phase 2 is the competition briefing. This is the introduction, the orientation of the competition, where you join us at 11 a.m. Phase 2, 11 a.m. on Saturday, October the 31st, right here. We tell you how the competition will go, how the presentations will happen, and then you ask us any questions you have, we'll answer those, and then we release the problem statement, we release the challenge at the end of the orientation. Section 3, development. This is where you guys will create your presentations. You'll dig for research information, try to get materials and stuff before the presentation time, before the presentation submission deadline hits. At the end of this development phase right here, 6 p.m. is the deadline. If your team does not submit your presentation by that time, you will be disqualified. You cannot present the next day. That's phase 3. Phase 4 is the report and the presentations. That is the next day right here. The presentation. You will get 5 minutes to set up, get ready, and then 10 minutes to present your solution and your presentation. And then there will be a 5-minute question period where the judges will ask you detailed questions. After that, after you do your presentation, everything is done. You don't have to do anything else. After you leave that room, after you leave, you do the presentation and you leave, that's it, it's over. You don't do anything else. The only thing that follows is that the judges will do the judges and the organizers of the competition will compile the feedback forms and will announce who the winners are and give you back your results. All right, section 4 of the rulebook is problem statement. After the orientation is over, you guys will be given the problem statement, right? Where will you be given that? You'll be given it right here. This is where the challenge shows up. We'll update it in this document and then you'll be able to see it live. All right. Section 5.0, evaluation. This is just a little brief talk about how exactly you will be evaluated. You can go through it later, nothing too specific. And there's the rubric for how your evaluations are going to happen. The judges will use those rubrics. So read over them, get to know what they say, and so that you can get as effective as a presentation as possible. All right, that's the gist of the consulting competition. I hope you guys learned something from this. I hope it's fun for you guys. Good luck.